The Bruno Guimaraes transfer saga is finally over. Arsenal have signed the player for a fee of £75 million from Newcastle United. Hi, this is Terrace 9 TV, a brand new YouTube channel where we discuss about the latest transfer rumours, big match reviews, big match previews of all the Premier League top 6 clubs. We try to bring new videos on a weekly basis, so if you like our content, please like, comment and subscribe, and please share our videos with your loved ones. So today morning we got the Here We Go from Fabrizio Romano. Check out this tweet by Romano. He says that Arsenal and Newcastle have an agreement in place for a fee of £75 million for the signature of Bruno Guimaraes. The personal terms have been agreed since July. So that's not really surprising. All the big clubs do that. They try to get the players to buy into their project. They try to see if the players are going to be fitting into their wage structure. So that's not surprising. And we also got the tweet from David Ornstein. Now, Ornstein tweeted some on similar lines to Romano, but the only difference is he talks about the 20% sell-on clause / profit that Lyon are going to be making from this deal. Now, Lyon are going to be getting 20%. So 20% of £75 million is in the range of 17 to 18 million pounds. So that's great profit for Lyon, considering that they sold this player to Newcastle all those years back. They're still making money from him. I was just scrolling through Twitter and I was just laughing at some of the Premier League fans and their reactions. All the top 6 fans are worried about Arsenal signing Guimaraes, and for very good reason. So Arsenal have the most settled squad out of all the top 6 clubs. Chelsea have a new manager in Xabi Alonso. They're having a crazy revamp. Spurs have Roberto De Zerbi on a permanent basis now. They signed him towards the end of last season, and he fought through relegation for them. So they survived, and Spurs have been spending like crazy. Man City are in an era of change, and it's going to be a very long season for Man City fans. Replacing Pep Guardiola is no joke, and they have signed Enzo Maresca to be their new manager. So let's see how that goes. Liverpool have sacked Arne Slot, and they have hired Iraola from Bournemouth. United have appointed Michael Carrick to be their permanent manager. So there has been a lot of change in the Premier League top 6. Arsenal have the advantage of having a settled squad, a manager who has won the Premier League last season, is used to winning the Premier League now. You can say that he's got the experience. He knows what it takes to win the Premier League. So Arsenal are early season favourites, but let's not say that they're going to be given the Premier League title. It's been handed to them just because they've signed Bruno Guimaraes. Because I remember last season, us fans were behaving the same way when Liverpool was splashing cash on Alexander Isak and Florian Wirtz and Hugo Ekitike. So let's not behave like Arsenal are going to win the Premier League. But yeah, the Bruno Guimaraes signing has strengthened their team, no doubt about it. Now, in terms of midfield signings this summer, if you think about it, Arsenal have spent the perfect sum of money to sign an elite 28-year-old midfielder. Elliot Anderson was signed by City for £116 million. That's £41 million lower than Bruno Guimaraes for a player who's just 5 years younger. His ex-teammate, Sandro Tonali, has been signed by Tottenham Hotspur for a fee of £100 million, which is £25 million lower for a player who's just 2 years younger to Bruno. So when you're comparing apples and oranges, I know it's not quite like apples and oranges. These players are slightly different in terms of their profiles and what they offer. Arsenal have spent just the perfect amount of money to sign Bruno Guimaraes, and it's an excellent job by Mikel Arteta and Berta, their sporting director, to spend the fee they wanted for the player they liked. We all made fun of Arsenal losing out to Chelsea on the signing of Morgan Rogers. Chelsea had hijacked Arsenal. So credit to Arsenal. I mean, they're sticking to their guns. They're sticking to the valuations that they have put on players. £75 million for a 28-year-old midfielder who's been exceptional in the Premier League for Newcastle is an excellent piece of business. Now, where would he fit in at Arsenal? I was just scrolling through this article on Sky Sports and I saw two formations which really stood out to me, the 4-2-3-1 and the 4-3-3. So let's have a look at the 4-2-3-1. Now in the 4-2-3-1, you can see a double pivot of Bruno and Declan Rice. Now this is a very interesting formation because this formation really allows Ødegaard to play as a number 10. So it allows Ødegaard to dictate play more in the final third. He wouldn't have to do so much of defensive work if he was playing in a midfield three. And also, instead of playing Ødegaard, because Ødegaard has also struggled with injuries, you can even play Eberechi Eze as a number 10 because let's not forget, Arsenal splashed big money on him last summer to sign him from Crystal Palace. You can even play Eze as a number 10 or you could even play him as a left-sided attacking midfielder. So Eze can move more towards goal. He can play more inwards rather than being a standalone left winger waiting to receive next to the touchline. Another formation which was really cool was the 4-3-3. Now this is a more physical formation. You can see a midfield trio of Zubimendi, Guimaraes and Declan Rice. Now in this midfield, what really interests me is that you can use this midfield when you're playing away from home at the Etihad. If you're winning 1-0 against Man City and you have to protect a lead. So you have Kai Havertz up front, you have Martinelli on the left, you have Saka on the right, and you have a midfield trio of Zubimendi, Rice and Guimaraes, which is a perfect trio. I mean, all these guys are 6 foot and above, so it makes sense. This is a good option for Arteta. So Arteta basically has a lot of options now. He can play a 4-2-3-1, he can play a 4-3-3. The 4-3-3 formation is a formation I see Arteta using more because Arteta is after all inspired by Tony Pulis. I mean, he is the Spanish Pulis. He is Mikel Pulis, literally. I mean, he turns into Mikel Pulis when he has to win the league or when he tries to win the league. So we could see him use this formation a lot. And a midfield trio of Zubimendi, Rice and Guimaraes, that sounds like a very, very fascinating midfield trio for the Arsenal fans to dream about. Now, Guimaraes can fulfill so many roles in the middle of the park. He could play as a left-sided midfielder. He could play on the right-hand side of the midfield. He could play much deeper. So when he plays a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3, these are just positions of players on the tactical end of the pitch. During the game, when Arteta is going through his formations or through his set piece routines, you could see so many variations. Sometimes you could even see Bruno Guimaraes play more as an advanced number 8 because he's someone who could win more headers into the opposition box. There's so many variations, so many varieties of way that Arsenal can attack games and win games. But when you're signing Bruno Guimaraes, we expect Arsenal to play more progressive football, more attacking football, and we expect Arsenal to create more chances from open play rather than corner kicks. So if you like our video today, please like, comment and subscribe. And do you think Bruno Guimaraes is worth £75 million? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. We'll be releasing more videos soon. We'll be talking about Vinicius Jr. I'm sure everyone's aware about this new transfer saga. Is he going to sign a contract extension at Real Madrid, or is he going to look for new opportunities and come to the Premier League? Arsenal are the club which is paying most attention to him, but I won't be surprised if bigger clubs like Paris Saint-Germain come in the picture. We'll also be talking about players like Pedro Neto from Chelsea, who's been attracting interest from Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester City, and many more videos. Thanks for your time.